The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing Icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Welcome back to the Icons of Real Estate podcast. Here today, I'm thrilled to introduce a guest who truly embodies what it means to be innovative and thrive in the real estate market, Mr. Marcel Iglesias. Now, Marcel is an experienced real estate professional known for his expertise in building client relationships, navigating complex markets, and delivering exceptional outcomes for investors and home buyers alike. He's built a strong online presence through engaging content on Facebook and YouTube, where he shares his market insights, strategies, and stories that resonate with seasoned professionals and newcomers alike. Now, whether you're looking to understand today's shift in market dynamics or elevate your real estate approach, Marcel is the perfect person to learn from. Let's dive in. How are you doing, Marcel?
Doing pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Tremendous, man. It's an honor to have you on your show. We'll dive right in and spare no details. Can you share a bit about your journey into real estate and what inspired you to enter the industry?
So my journey is somewhat unique, but then again, I guess so many people's journeys is pretty unique into getting into real estate. But I came from a technology background.
Okay.
So I worked in the Bay Area. Yeah, so I worked in the San Francisco Bay Area as an engineer, and then eventually I kind of got into sales and marketing roles. And then one of those sales roles eventually got me into I got into the smart home space, and so that, again, very forward thinking, and then after evaluating that space in more detail, a little bit further, just realized it just wasn't where it needed to be.
Okay.
But I had built up all these contacts, and so I ended up shifting over to real estate at that point.
Oh, most definitely. I like how you come from the tech background. That you show the audience and ourselves and the home buyers that you're very tech savvy. You're on the ball, and you've got to be snappy with things, meaning better customer service at the end of the day, and you can get forward to completion quicker. And you have an attention for detail as well, which I can most definitely tell.
Yeah.
How was your approach evolved? Go on.
Almost to my detriment sometimes.
I can most definitely resonate with you. Most definitely. But how has your approach evolved over the years from start to now, roughly?
The approach in terms of what?
In terms of connecting with home buyers and sellers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think the hardest part about when you're getting into real estate for any new agents is that how do you balance both the learning and the lead generation? Because there's just when I moved to Florida, I mean, I didn't know anyone, I didn't know the area, I had no idea about it. So it's how do you go out and find new business while you're still like learning, everything that's around you and just real estate in general. So I mean, it's not it's a lot of work basically. You're just constantly dividing your day between the understanding and get to know what you need to learn, and then the other part of it is going out and reaching out to clients, and obviously you get some help along the way with some of your colleagues and coworkers and that sort of thing. So then, at some point you got to shift and start focusing more in terms of going out and finding new business. And, with the market that we've been in for the last, when I got in, it was pretty good. Market was on fire. Didn't really need to do, it wasn't too much energy that was involved in going out there. But as the market has shifted, and it's been, we've had the worst market. Last year was the worst market in 30 years. This year is actually worse than last year. We're going to do under 4 million homes this year, same thing as last year. So the question is, how do you and just this peak market was about 7 million homes, a little over 7. So it's a huge difference. So how do you
50%,
keep finding new business? Yeah, so you have to adjust. You have to adjust and change your tactics and focus on other things. So for me, it's been more evolving more towards the marketing side, I guess.
Okay, no, most definitely. As we said, the market is constantly changing. You have the election, then we had the base rate changed. Then back in COVID, I don't think a lot of people are understanding that was really a catalyst for today's events. But from your perspective, what are the biggest challenges in, say, buyers and sellers today and what they're facing? Um, in regards to them challenges, how do we help these buyers and sellers navigate them?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest, probably the biggest challenge that we're having right now is with the mortgage rates.
Hmm.
So I think it's 87% of homeowners have mortgage rates below 6%, and
Wow.
in the United States, obviously you're overseas, but then I'm sure it's a similar story.
Hmm.
And the mortgages have been above most of the year. They've been around 6.6, 6.7. They got up to the sevens. So, nobody really wants to exchange below 6% mortgage to a, 6 point, no, to above a
Yeah.
6.6 or 6% mortgage. So, because it's not just the mortgage, it's also
Hmm.
the size of the home. And meanwhile, the prices have also gone up. I mean, been about a 50% increase in pricing, and the incomes haven't really kept up with that. So I think there's a big discrepancy between what the homes are, what the sellers are asking for, and what buyers are can afford, those that can afford it, and or what they're willing to exchange. So
Do you think, in regards to the recent election, Donald Trump coming into power, do you think there will be an impact on the market, and what impacts would you predict happening? I know we don't have a crystal ball predicting the future, but if we
well,
did,
yeah.
Marcel would be millionaire, well, billionaires to be honest. But just in regards of the
Yeah,
recent events.
yeah, I mean it's a tough one. I mean, I think there's a lot of the market reacted positively, I guess,
Hmm.
to what happened there. I mean, and you saw it with the markets, with the stock market, you saw it with even cryptocurrencies, right? Like, so there's just a big shift in what's happening from that point of view. I think if you look at what the current administration, what the effects has been for the past 4 years, and just how inflation has been climbing, you really haven't seen people making more money. So it was just been an ongoing thing. It's getting more under control, but I mean, still, it's so expensive when you just go to the grocery store or put gas in your car. I mean, everything's just it's just impossible. So I think and then when Trump was in office, everything was I mean, we had gas down to, like, I think it was $1.80, if I remember
Wow.
correctly, and everybody had a lot more money in their pockets. So, I think it's going to take some time. Obviously this doesn't happen overnight. It's
Hmm.
going to take some time for us to get there. I think the big issue, the thing that we have to weave now, where we're at, is just everybody's squeezed really thin right now. Also with the terms, if you look at the credit card debt, we're
Yeah.
over $1 trillion in credit card debt. I mean, also car pay, like, just everyone is just having a really, really tough time, and everyone's just struggling all around. So, how are we going to get through this? I mean, I think the Trump victory is kind of spoke to, what at least the Americans want, and how they want everyone felt squeezed. So yeah, I think it's going to take a while, but I think it's going to be for the better.
Most definitely. And in times of hard, there's always opportunities I have found. And if you're resilient enough and you've got your wits about you and you're as savvy as you are, Marcel, we most definitely will find the opportunities. Um, but
Yeah.
just in regards to you've your Facebook and your YouTube content, it's very, very engaging. I've had a look at it. We'll drop the links below for the audience to attach. But just going away from just the market dynamics now in terms of online presence, what role has social media played in shaping your career and connecting with others?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. So I kind of alluded that a little bit in the intro, as far as making the shift, just because I had my head buried deep in and just understanding just the markets in general, and
Hmm.
so But now as I focus more on the marketing, it's it's changed. I think the biggest lesson or the biggest thing that any agents that are listening that are trying to
Mm-hmm.
get into it is you gotta be authentic.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, you gotta be yourself. Everyone tries to be someone that they're not, and they try to. I think you really just got to be like you can't have these I don't know, just like backgrounds that people just are not going to jive with, or like when you're doing your present, like all these scripting and everything. I think it's not as genuine, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of like, so if you're going to be successful, I think it's a big part of what you got to do. But so yeah, and I myself, I'm taking my lessons from what I'm saying. So I'm gonna be shifting a lot of my online strategy to be more connective. A lot of the stuff I've been posting has just been, real estate updates, just been what's
Mm-hmm.
happening. Hasn't been as much video focused, right? I do have a YouTube channel, but I've done a lot of but a lot of my own content, editing my own videos, doing all that sort of thing. So anyway, I'll be doing a big shift in that too. But I've had some really, we had a conference, our yearly conference this year,
Mm-hmm.
and met with all our best agents at my company. I'm with eXp Realty, and got some really good insight as to really how to what I needed, the changes I needed to make to really address and connect with the audience. So that's kind of what my goal is for 2025.
Boom, you said it there. Just in an ever-changing market, we always have to adapt and survival of the fittest. If you don't adapt, natural
Yeah,
selection will wipe us out. But you built
yep,
a
absolutely.
serious reputation for innovation within the industry. I know you was in technology previous, and that's probably had a dramatic, well, supreme effect on some of the most effective strategies that you've embraced. Like, well, what are some effective strategies in regards to like technology? Have you embraced to stay ahead of the curve in real estate, or what are some you might dive into if you haven't yet?
Yeah, I think strategy wise, I think it's just really like kind of what I was saying. It's really just trying to get more content out there, more mix it up a little bit more, right? It's not just about real estate, but just about, at the end of the day, it's about relationship building and having
Hmm.
people just understand more about you. I watch some of these agents, and some of them are talking about how some of their best content is content that has nothing to do with like real estate,
Yeah.
and so it's yeah, I think it's just going to be diversifying more what I'm putting out there, getting it to be more about myself, and getting into other platforms as well. So right now I'm just in I've been doing content on YouTube. Obviously, I'm trying to be more consistent with it. It's hard when you are like trying to, figure out how to be, what the content is and be consistent, and that's going to appeal to the audience. So there's been a lot of R&D of trying to figure that out.
Hmm.
But yeah, more of that, more of social channels, and but even getting into like Instagram. I know that's like it's one that I see a lot of agents working on. So but for me, it's always really been about where the audience is. Just because there's a lot of people on one particular platform doesn't mean that they're going to be buying or that's the right audience for
Hmm.
you. So just having a good understanding of that as well. So
Most definitely, lots of valuable tips shared. We spoke about your journey into real estate, spoken about the market changing and keeping up with that. Just moving forward in regards to, I know you're, I know many aspiring real estate professionals. They look up to you as a mentor and an innovator. Just for someone starting out, what advice would you give to them, especially in this competitive market and evolving market that we've been speaking to? What advice as a mentor and an innovator would you give to the young ones starting out, or the older ones that are willing to change career?
I think it really depends on the person. It's the same way that we qualify buyers or even sellers or whatever. I'd want to understand more about the person that's trying to get into the business to understand their strengths so that they can play on those strengths. Everyone, everyone has a different idea of a good way to generate business. A common thing people say, it's like, oh, just work open houses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's easy and it's a good way to get leads. But some people don't like doing that kind of work, right? So, or
Mm-hmm.
other people say just make calls, right? Do cold calls, call expireds, call this, call. But it's at the end of the day. I think that's the problem with a lot of agents. It's like they get some bad advice and they do things that they just really don't want to do and don't want, don't know how to do, don't care to do it. But their mentors, that's how they succeeded. So therefore, this is what they need to do. And they go try it, they hate it, and then they're out of the business in 6 months.
Yeah.
So I think it's just really like having those conversations up front with a mentor, maybe talking to other agents, but like really trying to understand what is it that's going to work for you before you
Mm-hmm.
get into the industry. Have some kind of a plan. Don't go into it blindly. You know what I mean? To have some kind of a plan as to because it's even more competitive now. It's a very competitive market than, the people that are still in the business now are the people that have been able to get through 2 very tough years. And so like, how are you going to differentiate yourself against the ones that are still out there competing? So. But yeah, it's just about being yourself and just doing something you enjoy, so you're not going to hate it 6 months down the road, I guess.
Most definitely. It's like you said, natural selection. People that are still in the business now, the ones that have learned to involve, but everybody's really different. So you have to fight with your strengths. Some people don't like cold calling, but in regards to your weaknesses, you are forced to develop them and forced to like flow with the market. If you're weak at something, maybe outsource and get someone else to do that for you. But guys, we'll definitely plug you in with this wonderful mentor in front of me here today. But just moving forward again, like where do you go from here? Like what are your goals moving forward?
Yeah, so I guess my goals for 2025 is just really increase my presence out there more, get more content out there. I keep going back to the same thing because like I said, this is I've had 2 weeks of amazing knowledge that I've been able to acquire just from these conferences that I've been at, and so that like for me, that's my personal takeaway, just given my how like my background and what I think it's going to work for me. I wouldn't say that everyone do it because not everybody likes to be on camera. You know what I mean? So it's like, but for me, I think it's really just going to be focusing more on getting more videos and that sort of thing too, and not just on YouTube, but also just on Facebook and even like my own newsletters, and just getting people more comfortable and more familiar with me as a person.
Okay, let's move forward. Just a couple fun questions. What's been one of the most rewarding factors in your real estate career? Maybe could be an investment or just helping a client. What would you say is most fun or rewarding part of the career you've experienced?
Yeah, I mean, personally, for me, the most rewarding part of real estate, I would say, it's just been just getting into just having a business that like building a business on your own that and I'm a problem solver, so I kind of alluded to
Boom.
it in the beginning when I started as an engineer.
Hmm.
So it's putting myself in a position where I can create a business, and I'm really just problem solving all day, but I'm solving the kind of problems that I enjoy solving. So I think that's one aspect of it. Just helping people have like I was just giving the example of someone that has that's trying to qualify, and he's trying to make a purchase, and he's trying everything he can, but things aren't working. He's talking to his lenders, and I'm giving him some tips as to some of the things he could do, and just trying to figure out how to get there. So
Hmm.
those kind of experiences to help enable people to achieve the American dream of homeownership and that sort of thing. I think that's another big part of it. And then also on the seller side, right? So sellers are, and we're in a market now where homes aren't really selling, and they like want to understand what's happening there, and
Hmm.
a lot of agents are telling them that oh, hey, if it's overpriced, and sometimes it's not even about the price. Sometimes it's just the way the market is. So, anyway, just being able to go through and um, and just figure out their pain points and helping them through those pain points. So that's kind of that's the great thing about the business that we're in.
It's definitely the interpersonal level that we can engage with our clients on, and we actually get them results, and we see the smile on the face, and they continue to bring us referrals because, yeah, we've served them at the best of our ability, and we actually feel fulfilled. But yeah, just loads of information, loads of value given. We've spoken about your best experiences, the market dynamics, and what an amazing educator you are, and where we plan to go in the future. Just in regards to our audience and wanting to reach out to you, how can they do that?
Well, I think we're gonna put it on the bottom here in the description, but,
Boom.
but yeah. So it's my website is RE as in real estate happens HAPPENS.com. You can also reach me at so 561-556-4765 would be my cell phone number. But and all my social media handles and everything is on my website, so you can just kind of go through that. And but yeah, that would be the best way. You can also book a calendar, appointment on the calendar, and we can just do like a Zoom call like we're doing right now as well. So just happy to connect and to do what I can to be able to help out.
Tremendous guy as well. We'll surely drop everything below just there. One last fun question. Now, Icons of Real Estate, we're the #1 real estate podcast network, and we're passionate about making podcasting accessible for all. But one question for you, Marcel. If you had your own podcast, what would you call it?
If I had my own podcast, maybe it would be something along the lines of living in the Miami metro area.
Boom.
Living in Miami. Yeah, because I cover basically the 3 counties, Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach, and that's all considered the Miami metro area, also known as the Gold Coast.
Double M area, let's get it. No, fantastic. I'll be sure to plug into that, and hopefully we'll get you on your way soon. But guys, another episode of the Icons of Real Estate podcast with Marcel Iglesias and Ethan Thomas. Most definitely. But guys, over and out. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye bye.